What was the most statistically unlikely event you've ever witnessed? I live in Chicago and have this weird habit of riding random bus routes when I'm bored. Not because I need to go anywhere, just because it helps me think. No music, no destination, just watching the city roll by through dirty windows. One Sunday afternoon I was feeling restless, so I walked to the nearest bus stop and hopped on whatever came first. It was the 63 heading west toward the suburbs. I grabbed a seat in the middle section, across from this girl who looked about my age, maybe early 20s. She had huge black headphones on and was wearing this bright purple hoodie that looked like it had seen better days. We did that thing where strangers make eye contact for like half a second, then pretend the other person doesn't exist. She was sketching something in a notebook, really focused. I could see her pencil moving fast across the page, but couldn't make out what she was drawing. The bus made its usual stops. People got on and off. Old man with grocery bags. Mom with twin toddlers who wouldn't stop asking for snacks. Construction worker still covered in dust from his shift. Normal Chicago bus stuff. About 40 minutes into the ride, purple hoodie girl stood up and shuffled toward the back exit. The bus lurched to a stop and she stepped off without looking back. That's when I noticed it. Her sketchbook was still sitting on the seat where she'd been. I grabbed it and ran to the window trying to get her attention, but the bus was already pulling away. Through the back window, I could see her walking down some residential street, completely unaware. The sketchbook was amazing. Page after page of drawings, portraits of random people on buses and trains, dogs at the park, even little comic strips about city life. The girl could really draw. On the inside cover, written in careful handwriting, was a phone number and the name Jules. When I got home, I called the number right away. It went straight to voicemail, so I left a message explaining what happened. I figured she'd call back within a day or two. She never did. I kept the sketchbook in my bag for weeks, thinking maybe I'd run into her again on the same bus route. I even rode the number 63 a few more times, hoping to spot the purple hoodie. Nothing. After about a month, I started to feel weird carrying around someone else's art, like I was holding on to something that didn't belong to me. But I also didn't want to throw it away because the drawings were too good. Fast forward 6 weeks. I'm out with my friends Amy and Trevor in Lincoln Park, which is completely across town from where I found the sketchbook. We'd been bar hopping and decided to grab late-night tacos from this hole-in-the-wall place that stays open until 3 a.m. The tacos were greasy and perfect. We're walking back to Trevor's car through this narrow alley behind the restaurant, all of us slightly drunk and laughing about something stupid, Amy said, when I stopped dead in my tracks. Across the street, standing under a flickering street lamp, was the same girl, same purple hoodie, same focused expression. She was sketching something on what looked like a napkin. My friends kept walking, but I just stood there staring. What are the odds? Chicago has nearly 3 million people, and I randomly spot this girl in a completely different neighborhood at 2 a.m.? I still had her sketchbook in my bag because I'd been carrying it everywhere just in case. I ran across the street dodging a late-night Uber. "Excuse me," I said, trying not to sound like a crazy person. "Are you Jules?" She looked up from her napkin sketch and her eyes went wide, like she'd seen a ghost or something. I pulled out the sketchbook. "You left this on the bus a few weeks ago. I've been trying to find you." She just stared at the book, then at me, then back at the book. "I thought I lost this forever," she said, taking it with both hands like it was made of glass. "I called that number you left on my voicemail, but it was disconnected. Turns out Jules had changed her phone number the week before she lost the sketchbook. The old number was completely dead, so she never got my message. We talked for 2 hours on that random street corner while my friends waited in the car, probably thinking I'd lost my mind. Jules told me she didn't even live in Chicago. She was just visiting her cousin for the weekend and had only ridden that bus once, on that exact Sunday, because she got lost trying to find a coffee shop. Her flight back to Portland was scheduled for 10 a.m. the next morning. But here's the thing that still messes with my head. She'd been walking around Chicago for 6 weeks thinking her sketchbook was gone forever. All her best drawings, months of work, just vanished on some random bus ride. And I'd been carrying it around like a talisman, riding the same bus route over and over hoping for a miracle that would never happen.